The sound of hope. Could ultrasound-activated nanoparticles revolutionize cancer treatment? Introduction. What if we could tell cancer drugs exactly when and where to work in the body? Imagine medicine smart enough to remain completely harmless as it travels through your bloodstream, only springing into action when it reaches cancer cells. Today, I want to share an idea that combines existing technologies in a way that could potentially transform how we treat cancer. It's not about inventing something completely new, but rather connecting dots that have been hiding in plain sight. I was recently thinking about a fascinating discovery where scientists found that spoiled milk could help recover gold from electronic waste. The proteins in the spoiled milk bind to gold particles, separating them from other metals, something that seems obvious in retrospect but took years to discover. This got me wondering, what other connections are we missing, particularly in cancer treatment? The problem with current treatments. To understand why we need new approaches, let's look at the harsh reality of current cancer treatments. Every year, millions of cancer patients endure chemotherapy that ravages not just their tumors, but their entire bodies. Chemotherapy works by attacking rapidly dividing cells throughout the body. The problem is, many healthy cells divide rapidly too, like those in your hair follicles, digestive tract, and bone marrow. This is why chemotherapy patients often lose their hair, experience debilitating nausea, and become dangerously vulnerable to infections. For many, these side effects can be so severe that treatments must be delayed or doses reduced, compromising their effectiveness when they're needed most. Radiation therapy is more targeted, but still damages healthy tissue in its path. It's like trying to remove a weed by setting fire to part of your garden. Effective, but with significant collateral damage. This creates a fundamental challenge that has frustrated doctors and researchers for decades. How do we deliver powerful cancer-fighting agents only to cancer cells and activate them only when they reach their target? The multi-layer solution. This is where our innovative approach comes in, using a combination of technologies that already exist but haven't been fully connected. Imagine your medication as a special delivery package with 3 security features. First, the package itself. Tiny particles about 1/1000th the width of a human hair designed to carry cancer-fighting drugs. We'll call these nanoparticles our smart delivery vehicles. The first security layer uses what scientists call the EPR effect. Enhanced permeability and retention. Think of tumor blood vessels like poorly constructed pipes full of leaks. While normal blood vessels are well sealed, cancer tumors grow so quickly that they develop these leaky blood vessels with gaps. Our smart nanoparticles are precisely sized to slip through these gaps, like packages small enough to fit through a broken fence. Once inside, poor drainage means they tend to stay there, naturally accumulating in tumors more than healthy tissue. But we can do better. Our second security layer adds specific address labels to these particles. Cancer cells have unique nutritional needs and surface markers that make them different from healthy cells. By coating our nanoparticles with molecules that cancer cells are hungry for, like folate or glucose, we can further ensure they're taken up by cancer cells. It's like disguising our package as something the cancer cells want to bring inside. Now for the key innovation. These nanoparticles are designed with a special, sound-activated lock, that only releases their treatment when triggered by specific ultrasound frequencies, focused sound waves that can be precisely directed at the tumor. This gives us a third security layer, spatial and temporal precision that current treatments lack. This approach reminds me of that spoiled milk discovery. The individual pieces existed separately, but the breakthrough comes from recognizing how they could work together in a new way. The science behind it. But how does this sound activation actually work? Ultrasound is simply sound waves at frequencies higher than humans can hear, above 20,000 Hz. It's already widely used in medicine for imaging and is considered very safe. It's non-ionizing, meaning it doesn't damage DNA like X-rays can. These special nanoparticles can be engineered with materials that respond to specific ultrasound frequencies. When the sound waves hit them, several things can happen. They might vibrate and generate heat, form microscopic bubbles that collapse and create pressure waves, or simply break apart and release their contents. It's like a safe with a unique sound combination. It won't open unless it hears exactly the right frequency. And because ultrasound can be precisely focused at specific depths in the body, we can control exactly where and when the drugs are released. Recent research from the University of California, San Diego has demonstrated this principle in action. In 2019, researchers there developed ultrasound-responsive nanoparticles that could deliver cancer medications directly to tumors in mice, showing significantly improved efficacy with reduced toxicity to healthy organs. Similarly, scientists at MIT have engineered nanoparticles that can be triggered by both ultrasound and acidity levels found in tumors, adding another layer of targeting precision. What's fascinating is that none of these technologies are completely new. Ultrasound has been used medically for decades, nanoparticle drug delivery exists for some medications, and targeted cancer therapies are advancing rapidly. The innovation comes from combining them in this specific way, much like how spoiled milk and gold recovery seemed unrelated until someone connected them. Real-world context. Now, this specific combination approach isn't in clinical use yet, but related technologies are showing promise. Researchers at various institutions are exploring ultrasound-responsive materials for drug delivery. Some nanoparticle-based cancer drugs are already FDA-approved, like Doxil, a liposomal formulation of doxorubicin, and Abraxane, an albumin-bound form of paclitaxel. Focused ultrasound itself is making significant inroads into medicine. In 2021, researchers at Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center in Toronto used focused ultrasound to temporarily open the blood-brain barrier, allowing chemotherapy to reach brain tumors that were previously protected by this natural defense. It's important to be realistic about timelines. Medical innovations typically take years of research, preclinical testing, and clinical trials before becoming widely available. The path from concept to treatment is long and rigorous, as it should be for patient safety. However, what makes this approach promising is that it builds on technologies that have already demonstrated safety and efficacy separately. This could potentially streamline development compared to completely novel approaches. The promise and vision. If successfully developed, what might this mean for cancer patients? First, it could significantly reduce those devastating side effects we discussed earlier. Imagine chemotherapy without the hair loss, without the severe nausea, without the complete collapse of the immune system. Instead of flooding the entire body with toxic drugs, treatment would activate primarily at the tumor site. Second, it offers customization potential. Different targeting molecules could be used for different cancer types. HER2 antibodies for certain breast cancers, PSMA targeting for prostate cancer, and so on. The ultrasound parameters and drug payloads could be tailored to each patient's specific situation. Perhaps most exciting is the potential for treating cancers that are currently difficult to address. Some of the most promising cancer medications discovered in laboratories never make it to patients because they're too toxic when delivered throughout the entire body. By precisely delivering these potent treatments with fewer side effects, we might finally unleash their full potential against resistant cancers. Conclusion. As we've seen, sometimes the most promising innovations aren't completely new inventions, but novel combinations of existing technologies. The pieces of this puzzle, nanoparticles, targeting molecules, ultrasound technology, have been developing separately for years. The breakthrough comes in seeing how they might work together. This reminds me of how spoiled milk and gold recovery seemed like an unlikely pair until someone made the connection. In science and medicine, progress often happens at these intersections between different fields. I'm curious. What other connections might we be missing? Are there other technologies or approaches that could be combined in unexpected ways to solve challenging problems? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in more explorations at the intersection of science, technology, and curiosity, please subscribe to Curious Chronicles. Thanks for watching.